In a quiet, sun-drenched village in India, a young girl sits beneath the shade of a tamarind tree. The soft rustling of leaves accompanies her voice as she reads aloud from a well-worn English storybook. Her pronunciation is not perfect. She stumbles on a few words, hesitates, then repeats them with growing confidence. A gentle smile forms on her face as the words begin to make sense. At that moment, something powerful is happening. She's not just reading a story. She's opening doors to knowledge, to confidence, to new opportunities, and to a future filled with promise. Welcome to English Passage, where we believe stories are the most natural, powerful way to learn English. In today's lesson, we're not going to give you a list of random words to memorize. Instead, we'll take you on a journey through real-life stories, practical examples, and thoughtful guidance to help you learn over 100 useful English words. Not just to recognize them, but to understand them, remember them, and use them confidently in your everyday life. Whether you're a beginner, a student, or someone preparing for a job interview or an exam, this journey is designed for you. Part 1. What is vocabulary? So, what exactly is vocabulary? Vocabulary is the set of words you know, and more importantly, the words you actually use in your life. It includes active vocabulary, the words you speak and write confidently. Passive vocabulary, the words you recognize when reading or listening but may not use yet. To grow in English, you need to build both. Because vocabulary isn't just about knowing words. It's about using them in the right place, at the right time, and with the right meaning. But why is vocabulary so important? Because words are tools. They shape our thoughts. They express our feelings. They connect us with the world around us. Vocabulary is the foundation of fluent English and a fluent life. Why is vocabulary important? Because words are not just sounds or letters. Words are tools. They help us think clearly. They help us express what we feel. And they connect us with people around us. Vocabulary is not just a part of English. It is the foundation of fluent English. Part 2. Why most vocabulary methods fail. Let's be honest. Vocabulary is one of the biggest challenges for English learners. Many students begin with great energy and hope. They open their notebooks or download vocabulary apps. They start memorizing long lists of words, dozens, sometimes even hundreds. They look at each word, repeat the spelling, say the definition aloud, and try to remember it. For a day or two, it feels like progress. But then something frustrating happens. A week later, when they hear the same word in a conversation, they freeze. They think, I've seen that word before. I remember learning it. But what does it mean? The word is there, somewhere. But it's lost, like a name you can't quite recall. Why does this happen? Why do so many vocabulary words seem to vanish from memory? Because memorizing without meaning doesn't work, not in the long run. The human brain is not a machine built to store random, disconnected facts. Our brains are wired for connection, not repetition. When you try to memorize a word like obstacle just by looking at its definition, something that blocks your way, it doesn't stick. It feels abstract, flat, lifeless. But now, imagine this. Kalpana wanted to be a scientist, but poverty and lack of resources were major obstacles in her path. Now the word obstacle has context. You see it in action. You feel its weight. You connect it to a story, to a real human experience. This is how the brain learns best, through stories, images, emotions, and experiences. The next day, A woman came to David's office. She was holding a small cake. "Thank you," she said. "That wallet belonged to my husband. The photo is of our daughter. You returned something very important to us. Now, let's practice thinking in English. Who found the wallet? What did he do with it? Why was it important to the woman?" If you answered these questions in English, you just thought in English. That's the magic of storytelling. The more stories you listen to, the more English starts to feel familiar. Part 3. Why stories are so powerful. Think back to a story you loved as a child. Do you still remember it? The characters, the feelings, maybe even exact words? That's the magic of stories. Stories are how we naturally learn language, especially as children. They are sticky. They live in the heart. Now, imagine learning English the same way, not by force, but by flow, through characters, emotions, and real-life situations. Let's take an example. Raj was exhausted after working late into the night. To clear his head, he went for a peaceful walk around the park. From just this line, you understand what the word exhausted means. You don't need a dictionary. You feel it. You've lived it. And because of that emotional connection, your brain will remember it. This is why we use stories in English passage, not as decoration, but as a method. They bring vocabulary to life. Part 4. The brain science behind learning words. Scientific research shows that to truly learn a new word, we need to encounter it 6 to 10 times. When we say you need to encounter a word 6 to 10 times, it doesn't mean simply reading it again and again on a flashcard. It means engaging with the word in different ways, in different situations, and over different periods of time. This is based on a concept in cognitive psychology called spaced repetition and multisensory learning. Your brain doesn't store isolated facts very well. It stores patterns, connections, and experiences. So to make a new word part of your long-term memory, you need to create strong, repeated neural connections. And the best way to do that is through varied, spaced encounters with the word. Not just see it, but hear it, say it, write it, and use it in different situations. For example, you read the word achievement in a story. You say it out loud and write your own sentence. Finishing the project on time was a big achievement for me. A few days later, you hear someone else say achievement in a podcast. You use it again while telling your friend about your success. That's when the word moves from your memory to your active vocabulary. That's when it becomes yours. And this is the system we use at English Passage. Each of these interactions reinforces the word from a different angle. Hearing strengthens listening comprehension. Speaking builds confidence and fluency. Writing improves accuracy and retention. Using the word in context develops natural usage. After 6 to 10 such experiences, the word moves from short-term memory to your long-term active vocabulary, where you can recall and use it easily without hesitation. Part 5. Vocabulary in Action. Learn over 100 words. Now, let's dive into the heart of today's lesson, 3 simple, powerful approaches to learning vocabulary naturally. 1. Real-life story. A day in Raj's life. Let's follow Raj through a busy day, from morning to night. As we walk with him, we'll encounter useful daily words in context. Alarm, rush, breakfast, commute, schedule, meeting, concentrate, productive, exhausted, relax, dinner. Instead of memorizing these words, you'll understand them through Raj's actions. You'll feel the meaning. 2. Inspirational story, Kalpana's journey. Now meet Kalpana, a young girl from a small village who dreams of becoming a scientist. Despite challenges, she never gives up. Through her inspiring journey, you learn powerful words like dream, mission, obstacle, determination, courage, failure, success, achievement, inspire, vision. These aren't just vocabulary words. These are the words of ambition, the words of life. So, if you've ever felt like you're forgetting words quickly, if you've ever been frustrated by repeating the same list again and again, don't worry. It's not your fault. It's the method that's broken. And that's why, at English Passage, we use a different approach. We don't teach vocabulary as isolated definitions. We teach it through the power of story, where every word is part of a scene, a feeling, a real moment. Because when a word touches your heart, it stays in your mind. 3. Themed vocabulary groups. We also organize words by themes to help you connect them faster. Emotions, joy, pride, fear, empathy, communication, express, discuss, reply, unknowns, learning, understand, memorize, analyze, explain. Part 6. How to practice and truly remember words. Learning a new word once, even if you understand it, is not enough. If you don't use it, your brain starts to forget it within days. To truly make a word part of your active vocabulary, you need to interact with it repeatedly, in meaningful and personal ways. It's not about how many words you learn. It's about how well you use the ones you know. Here's a simple, powerful method that helps turn new words into lasting knowledge. 1. Say the word aloud. Speaking it helps your brain and mouth connect. Repeat it clearly, then use it in a short sentence. Exhausted. I feel exhausted after a long day. 2. Write a personal sentence. Don't just copy definitions. Write a sentence about your life. I was exhausted after my school trip. 3. Teach the word to someone else. Explaining a word helps you remember it better. Say what it means and give your own example. 4. Use it in conversation or journaling. Apply it naturally in a chat, diary, or reply. The more you use it, the more it becomes yours. 5. Review after 1, 3, and 7 days. Look at the word again a day later, then again after a few days. This spaced review locks it into memory. The key is not just repetition, but meaningful use. The more personally and actively you connect with a word, the longer it stays with you. Part 7. Motivation. How many words do you really need? Many learners feel overwhelmed. They think fluency means learning thousands of words. But here's the truth. To handle everyday conversations, you only need around 1,500 to 2,000 words. To see a big improvement in confidence, just 100 to 300 common words are enough. So don't chase quantity. Focus on quality, clarity, and daily improvement. One word at a time. One step at a time. Recap your learning journey today. Let's quickly go over what we've learned. 1. You discovered how vocabulary is more than memorization. It's understanding and usage. 2. You saw why stories are powerful tools for natural learning. 3. You learned through Raj's daily life, Kalpana's dream, and themed vocabulary sets. 4. You now know how to practice, review, and retain new words. 5. And most importantly, you've realized that learning vocabulary is a journey of becoming. Your turn, practice time. Now it's your turn. In the comments, write 3 new words you learned today. Then, write 1 sentence for each, based on your real life. For example, exhausted, I was exhausted after working late last night. Achievement. Getting my first job was a big achievement for me. Inspire. My teacher inspires me to do better every day. We'll read your comments, and we may even reply. Vocabulary is not built in a day, but day by day, story by story, it grows, and so will you. As Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam once said, if you want to shine like a sun, first burn like a sun. So start today. Read, listen, repeat, speak. Take the first step toward fluency with English Passage, where stories bring language to life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video or article with someone who's also learning. We'll see you in the next lesson with another story, another word, and another step on your English journey. Keep watching, keep reading. You learn best when you learn with stories. Until next time, happy learning. Jai Hind. Vande Mataram.